let's go ahead and hit the record button and go ahead and get things started. Let's get loaded in. Whoops, hope I did that. There we go. And one of these days I'm going to be like really cool and have real lights or something like that in here. Hope that everybody's been doing well. So when last we left our heroes, it's all on the screen right here. Our 1-2 pilot was killed in the last mission. They had a damaged gyro. They'd already taken a couple of head hits, and then they fell while trying to get up and just smushed their own head in, which is very unfortunate. Before we really jump into things, for everybody on YouTube, thank you for coming back. I really have appreciated seeing any of the comments that anybody has left. I hope that the audio has been a little bit more acceptable for folks and has been easier to hear. And if anybody would like to see anything different, just let me know. We'll continue trying to run with like 2 to 3 streams a week, depending on how things are going and depending on how busy work is and family and everything else. Anyways, so we are about 4 months into this 5-month contract that is absolutely terrible. This contract sucks. We're not getting paid much and things are not going well. Oh, also one last thing. Apparently, while I was not streaming, Lava Ear 2, you followed me on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. Every follow helps. So we've completed a few missions now. You know, the frontline engagement, regular force assault, the mech base, and then the pivotal engagement, which that one was an absolute joke. It was a single lumberjack that could not do anything, but this dropship raid really threw us for a loop. Able and Baker Lance are still out on patrol. They should be coming back in the next 1 to 2 days, and we have about 1 month left on this contract before we can take on another one. And we're going to have to try to repair everything and see what happens. Oh no, we've wounded people. So our commander is a little hurt. He has a puncture wound to the abdomen, which is a little awkward. What does that do for him? What's going on, my man? So no penalties with that. Just when you have a punctured abdomen, nothing really happens, I guess. You know, those darn gut wounds. All right, let's go ahead and advance the day. Let's see what happens. Okay, Captain. Oh, the stuff that we salvaged, we need to assign mechs to as well. Promise, I almost know how to play this game. Assign, tech. Do we have a... Yeah, we'll assign Carlos. He needs to work on repairing things and stuff and whatnot. Let's go ahead and advance the day. Some maintenance was done. Able and Baker Lance for return. Let's go ahead and go over to the repair bay. So Stalker obviously is inoperable. We're going to need a new head for this dude, and a new sensor, cockpit, the whole kit and caboodle. Fortunately, we have some cockpits and life support systems in stock. So where's that? But we'll go ahead and get the head and the sensors on order, because that'll take a little bit to get here. You know, a couple of weeks probably, assuming we can actually order these parts. I mean, my goodness, 240,000 C bills for the head, and then another 170,000 for the sensors. It's an entire month's pay. That's no good. Let's go ahead and just crank through some of this stuff and get things repaired and up and ready to go, so that if anything else does kick off in the next 3 weeks, we're not going to be stuck with our pants down. And I could do the instant mass repair, all that jazz. I don't like doing it for some reason. I like doing it manually. It gives me a sense of joy. All right, so when it comes to repairing limbs, always just try to make sure you don't mess it up, because if you mess it up, then you might end up permanently damaging some of the internal structure, and that gets really annoying. Then you end up having to replace the whole thing. Warhammer heavy damage. Womp womp. Like we took our lumps on that one. Going up against the Union is no joke. Absolutely no joke. Let's work on getting these green dudes some experience. Good deal. Just repair all the armor. Oh, I forgot I had this fire starter sitting around. That's fine. We'll go ahead and replace some things. I think that we had just gotten done ordering everything that was here. And so that makes a lot of sense why we haven't done it yet. Yeah, 5s are fine. Let's go ahead and replace, and replace. Cool. So we're just waiting on that last medium laser to get replaced. The archer, this was our spoils from the last fight. So even though the stalker lost its head, we lost our best pilot. We fortunately were able to, we didn't lose the stalker. It just needs a lot of repairs and it needs a new head. But we didn't lose the mech. We just lost the pilot, which is worse. But we have small victories. And then we got the archer where we got our revenge. We gave the archer a PPC to the face, and now that pilot also burned up. So let's go ahead and spend some time. Whoa. You know, we'll go ahead. We can risk it. If we lose a little bit of armor doing this, it's not the worst thing in the world. But hopefully we can get these guys a little bit of experience while we're doing it. Yeah, see, and that can be what happens. You know, you roll a 2, you lose some of your armor. It's not the end of the world. It's just annoying. And if you know that you're running short on armor, then not the best thing to be doing. But I know that we're close to the end of this contract. I know that we'll be able to order more armor whenever we get out of here. But again, I'm not going to mess around with the legs. We'll go ahead and grab some folks who are really good. And we can always spend some more time on those things if we need to. Some automatic successes are already nice. Ooh, I already have a 70-ton mech head. Probably because I started with an archer and the auto generation company, the auto company generator. When you do that, it automatically gets one of most of your supplies, to include heads for all of the mechs that you actively have. And since I already have an archer, we already have a head. Downside is this is going to be difficult, but we can spend a little bit of extra time. I'm fine with taking 2 days to replace that. That's not a problem. And then let's also take a little bit of time to go ahead and repair some of this other stuff here. I mean, this is all 1s and 2s because the chassis is in phenomenal shape. And as a reminder for those at home, F does not mean bad. F means good. In the world of BattleTech, A is atrocious and F is fine with a capital F. Oops. Should have gone to a different tech. That's okay, though. That's interesting. I feel like that's just a typo that they need to deal with. Let me just, I'm going to take a quick little screenshot of that to throw it up on the Discord. Boop. So if you guys are not aware, I'm sure that some of you are coming from the MegaMek Discord, and for those of you who are, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you joining us today. But for those of you who are not aware, there's an entire MegaMek Discord. If you go to the MegaMek website, You'll see a link for their Discord channel. Everybody there is so welcoming. If you have any questions, whether it's about the MegaMek program, the MekHQ, or any of the other numerous portions of the MekHQ suite, everybody there is just so great about answering questions and helping people who are new. And then on top of that, if you just have questions about BattleTech in general, they have a channel on there for sharing your painting projects, for painting minis, or for lore, they have a channel for everything. It's kind of like the old joke. There's an app for that. There's a channel for that. And everybody over there is very active. So I'm just looking through to see if I have anybody with special abilities, and I don't, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I probably need to... That guy can probably increase his skill. A couple of these dudes, probably we can increase skill on. But we'll take a look at that in a minute. Target of 4, that's fine. We're just waiting on that head to arrive, and it should arrive at some point in time. I missed what it said over here. Why don't we take a look really quick in the warehouse? In transit, 20 days. 20 days until it gets here. By then, the contract will be pretty much done. So cockpit got replaced. Everything is good to go except for our stalker. I don't think I have any pilots who are sitting around ready to go, which is unfortunate. And there is nobody on the personnel market, I'm sure. Yeah. While you're on military maneuvers, you cannot do any recruiting. Bum, 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 bum. I don't think I have any prisoners. I also don't have any forces to keep an eye on prisoners, so they would just probably walk away. Yeah, no, I don't have any prisoners. It's really interesting because I've been picking up pilots. But, the stalker is going to be out of action for a little bit. What we can probably go ahead and do is grab one of our other mechs from like Baker Lance. We can move our 3-4 pilot and the Whitworth up to Baker Lance. Charlie Lance can continue just doing his normal scouting thing as needed. I think that will work pretty well. I don't want to move the Gladiator out because that's just so nice to have. But let's, the Rifleman, it's a medium mech, but it should fit okay in Able Lance for right now. And then we'll move the Whitworth up to Baker Lance, and then everybody's back up at full strength, except for Charlie Lance, and they'll be fine. Oh, Lieutenant Charter Chadaborsky is 23 today. Happy birthday, buddy. So we'll keep on cruising. I really don't even want to go scouting right now. The enemy morale is critical. They're just in a dire state. They're incapacitated. Nothing good is happening for them. They aren't going to be doing a whole lot. If we start going looking for trouble, then we're just going to take more hits, and we have 0 battle loss compensation, which is, we're paying for everything. Firestarter goes up to quality F, which is great. We're going to keep on keeping on. And our contract ends on the 2nd of May. So we have about 12 days left. My tech is still losing their mind. They have been ever since we started this company. I don't think there's anything I can do for them. We don't have a psychiatrist on staff. All right. End of April, we just got our mech head and our mech sensors. Yay. So we'll go ahead and replace the head. Just because I'm a wuss, we're going to take a little bit of extra time. I really don't want to lose the head. Do the task. Replaced. Good deal. And then the cockpit, no problem. And we're up to 100%. Time for employee turnover. Nobody wants to leave. Good deal. We had some people who we did things for. Okay, so Saturday, May 1st, we transferred some stuff to our unit coffers. Unit market update, we'll take a look at that in a second. The enemy is routed. Enemy is in full retreat, suffering devastating losses and scattered. They pose no significant threat and are incapable of organizing a counterattack. Special event, Comstar interdict. Base availability level decreases 1 level for the rest of the contract, all 1 day of it. And then we do some maintenance. We get paid 338,000 C-bills. For real, our pay on this contract has sucked the entire time. And I hope that we can get some better contracts, having showed ourselves or showed that we can do things. So advance a day. I'm not paying for them to resupply us. That's just silly. So we are now on May 2nd. This is the end of our contract. Briefing room. We are Charlie, Mike, complete mission, outcome, success. We have plenty of victory points. We are in a great spot. Nobody wants to leave the unit this time. Everybody gets a participation award, which is neat. You know, it's the time that we live in, participation awards. And we are officially free. So our standing with the Lyran Commonwealth increased by 1.88. We are still unaccredited, and our standing with the Mercenary Review Board increased. We are still, quote, registered. So I don't know. One thing I don't know, we can look up sometime, is at what point or at what standing do these things increase? And I need to take a look to see, too, where do we look at all of our standings? And if anybody knows where we just look for that at, just let me know so that we're not wasting a whole bunch of time with me faffing about here. But interstellar map would kind of make a little bit of sense. Reports. Unit rating. Nope, not there. Not there. Not there. No. Nope. Okay. If anybody knows where we can find that information on where we stand with everybody, let me know. I'm very interested. Oh, faction standing report right there. So you just go to command center, it's right there. So compel a federation. We are tolerated but not trusted. We are watched. Bum bum bum. Draconis Combine. We are tolerated. The Federated Sons, we are unrecognized. We have no reputation. It's just, you know, we exist. We are unaccredited in the Lyran Commonwealth. Can we access documentation? Oh, this provides us with all the different information. That's pretty great. So let's take a quick look. We'll take a quick intermission here to take a look at this stuff. Boop. I don't know when they added this to MegaMek and MekHQ, but I really like it. So regard is the metric used to measure how well liked your campaign is by any given faction. Regard scales from -60 to +60. A higher regard means you are seen in a better light than if you had low regard with a faction. Regard is capped at +40 for factions other than the current campaign faction. So, for example, a mercenary campaign would be capped at +40 regard for the Draconis Combine. And then there are a couple of other things. You can have a parent faction, which will gain you an 18.75 bonus to climb regard. Okay, cool. That is pretty neat. Cool. Very, very cool. I'll probably look through this sometime off stream and just read through this and that way we can talk a little bit more about it. But good deal. Oh, and then we also have the periphery special, all that fun stuff. Cool beans. All right, so we are now done with that. Do we have anything on the contract market? A whole lot of nothing. If I remember correctly, we're in Crymond. If I remember correctly, Crymond actually has, it's a standard hiring hall. So we should be able to get a contract here. We might just be chilling for a short while, waiting for the next month to roll around. One thing we can do right now is we can go ahead and purchase some additional parts for things that we know we're going to be utilizing, armor and the like. One thing I do wish that we really had was the ability to get ferrofibrous. And there's absolutely no way at all that we were getting ferrofibrous armor. Every now and then I go ahead and click it and see what's going to happen. But, I click it, impossible. It's an impossible target. I'll leave it there for a minute just for funsies. But as for armor, we're down to 320 armor. We need more than that. I normally like to have about 1,200 armor on standby for a contract. Or the other way I think about it is, I'm doing a 6-month contract. I want like 200 armor at least for each month of my contract. So we'll go ahead and order a bunch of this. It's going to be very expensive, but that's okay. So we'll get 100 ordered up. That'll get me to 1,100 armor. I'm not too worried about all these foot actuators, all that jazz. Having some extra heat sinks on hand is always nice. And then we should have enough ammo. We've got LRM-10 ammo, a whole bunch of LRM-10 ammo, a whole bunch of LRM-15, a bunch of LRM-20, a bunch of LRM-5, machine gun ammo we're totally fine on. We should look at our AC ammo. So AC2 ammo, we're at 30. AC20 ammo, we're at 30. AC2, we're at 424. AC5, we'll actually do a few more of those, because we're going through quite a bit of AC5. And then beyond that, we've got some flamers on standby. SRM2 ammo, or SRM ammo in general, we've got plenty. We're doing fine there. Okay, cool. We're in a good spot. Let's go ahead and advance the day and see what happens. We cannot acquire parts of this level. Sad day. So remove that. Oh, we should look at the unit market. We haven't done that. So what do we have? So we have a Vulcan, a Hunchback. Which Hunchback is this? I can never remember. Oh, this is the medium laser Hunchback. Yeah, I still want it. I still really want it. I'm not going to get it right now, and it hurts me, but I want it. The other thing we're going to need to wait for is the personnel market, because we need pilots. We need mech pilots, even if they're green. We still need them. We're kind of hurting on pilots right now, especially with my 1-2 pilot just getting rocked. Bunch of things are arriving. Somebody has a birthday. Yay. More people have birthdays. Yay. Always so exciting. We're going to just cruise on through to the next month. Let's see what happens. People turnover. Nobody wants to leave, which is fantastic. And, haha, we have applicants. All right, so due to low wealth or poor chance, we did not reinvest into the unit coffers this month, which is fine. Let's go ahead and look at the unit market. Let's look here. So I already see at least one mech warrior. So we have 3 mech warriors. All of them are green. We have, I think it's Eudor Toroyan. He is a 19-year-old male. He has an O-positive blood type. He is a 6'6 pilot. His roleplay skills, he's got 6 acrobatics, 8 interrogation, 7 for running. He's got 8 for career, which sucks. Survival of 9. Wealth of 1, reputation of -1, and he's only got an early childhood education. The interview notes he is volatile, and he could win the day, or he could get someone killed. I'm not excited about that. All right, and then Cynthia Bernardo, intelligence -1. She is a 6'6" pilot. She has a leadership of 8. She has an early childhood education. She is momentum addict. Planning seen as a weakness. Lets consequences catch up later. Trusts no one. Lives in the shadows, setting traps only they can see. Interesting. Not horrendous, but interesting. And then Claudia Bukowski. She is a 21-year-old 5'4" pilot. She has a high school education. She tanked the exam. She's a thrill seeker. Battlefield is a playground. Somehow survives so far. Grips every scrap like it's life support. Won't share, won't blink. I like it. She's a fighter. I think we might just go ahead and do that. We might just do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and recruit her. Boop. What else do we have here? So we've got a green HR person. We've got some mechanics. We got some mech techs. We got genetic therapy specialist, data intercept operator. So I remember we were wanting to intercept some data on one of our last missions, and we didn't have one of these people. I think we might go ahead and just do this because they've got communication sensor. They're green, but at least we get somebody. What's the worst that'll happen? Sure, we'll recruit you. We can get an Aztec if we want. We'll pass for right now. We got vehicle gunners, vessel crew members, stuff like that. They are going to be changing a lot of this stuff in 50.10. And so if you are playing and you update to 50.10 whenever it comes out, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I would hope, maybe in the next month or two, just pay attention to that and read through the notes. That way you kind of know what's happening and you don't get blindsided by anything. Okay, and then with that, let's go ahead. Let's look at the unit market. So we've got a Wasp, Hornet, Stinger, bunch of lights, Warhammer, yet again, another rifleman, Ostrak, which is always a fun one. It's a 60-ton mech. It's 5'8" movement, no heat, no jump jets. It's got 15 heat sinks, 99 internal structure, 144 armor. Most of that is in the torso, and then the legs, which is totally fine. It carries a couple of large lasers, a couple of medium lasers, and SRM-4. And then the nice thing about it is it's narrow. So the narrow quirk allows it to a lot of times have glancing blows and actually take less damage overall, which is nice. And they want 4.8 million for it. It's not terrible. Wasp, a commando. It's a light. It's a 25-tonner, 6'9" movement, 10 heat sinks. It carries a medium laser at SRM-4 and SRM-6, and then it's got 43 internal structure, 64 armor. It's not bad. Definitely, if you're starting out, not a bad one to have, but definitely not worth 2 million seatbelts. And then the Guillotine, which is a heavy mech, is a 70-tonner, 464, 22 heat sinks. Got 107 internal structure, 192 armor. This one is I like Guillotines. It carries a large laser, 4 medium lasers, and an SRM-6. It can get a little toasty if you're not careful, but I like them. And if I had 7.2 million C-bills, I would consider it. It's a little steep for the price, but I would consider it. Let's see what we have for contracts. Oh, we have some contracts, and look at that. We even have some that we are not going to just lose our shirt on. Downside is we would be going against the Laren Court or Laren Commonwealth, who we've been hired by for the last 1 or 2 contracts. But we would be doing a planetary assault. They would potentially be a little above our skill level right now. Also, our compensation sucks. So we have no salvage rights. We have no straight support. We have 10% battle loss compensation. It requires 3 teams with 7 combat elements. So we have to have 7 mechs in play at all times with 3 combat teams. This is going to be hard for us to support right now. Even though it pays really well, I don't think that would be the best move for us right now. So this one is the opposite side. So this is an extraction rate. It's a 5-month contract. Take about 48 days to get there. We would be going against veteran forces with very good supplies. Our allies would be regular forces with very good supplies. we would have full overhead compensation. They would pay for half of our transport there, 40% salvage rights, which is not bad, and then 60% battle loss compensation. So this would not be a bad one, but we're going to run into the same thing. So I think for this one, I think let's see if we can't negotiate some better terms for this, and let's see what happens. So transport, I'm not messing with that. That seems just like really bad to mess with. It doesn't get better. Salvage rights, let's see what we can do. 20%, not terrible. And then straight support, 80%, but 0% battle loss compensation. Overall, I'll take the 80% straight support over the battle loss compensation. I think that's going to serve us a lot better. This is a 6-month contract, so we will have to pay attention to everything. But I think that this is going to be a good one for us to work on. The planetary assault is going to mean a lot of missions, potentially a lot of fatigue, but let's just see what happens. What's the worst that can happen, right? Right? Accept. Yeah. All right. This is Leo Hampton, liaison assigned to your unit. You're cleared for operations, but don't mistake that for confidence. We'll be watching closely. Plans are in place to integrate your unit into our logistics network. Surplus supplies will be redirected your way monthly, but distribution will be need-based. Frontline units with the heaviest attrition get priority. This is not a replacement for standard procurement. However, if you've got logistics vehicles, and you're willing to attach to the network, we can bump up your priority and ensure your units see a larger share. Your route to the contract system has been plotted and uploaded. Tech teams are on standby to prep your force for transport. Everything should be ready to go by the time you reach your staging bay. Understood. All right, and just like always, they will mothball our stuff for us, and they will unmothball it when we get there. I will happily accept that. It will cost us 3 million C-bills to get there, but we got a nice little bump in our funding. So, boop, accept. All right, so we're plotted. We're ready to go. Now we have a little bit of extra money. Let's go ahead and look at the unit market. Let's just look at it. Do we want the guillotine? That's the question. That's the question of the hour. And I kind of think yes. I think this will be a very nice addition. It'll be a very nice addition. Even though it's overpriced, I'm fine with it. Purchase. Let's go. And it should arrive. Oh, I thought it arrived mothballed. Oh no. And so these guys, we're also going to go ahead and mothball them just so we don't have to do maintenance on them while we're on our way. Mass mothball. All of the people can help with the mothballage. Go ahead and advance a day. Advance a day. Everybody is mothballed. Everybody's in a good spot. And let's go ahead and advance 1 month. All right, so we're jumping. My person is still crazy. Jumping. They're still absolutely crazy. People are gaining vocational XP. Let's go ahead and take a few minutes and let's look at. First, we'll look at the unit market, see if there's anything that magically popped up that we're regretting now. There's a longbow, which isn't terrible. I mean, it is just an LRM carrier. That's what it is. I'm not very good with them, though. I don't always know how to use them. Then we have a Wasp, Firestarter, and a Locust. Nothing that we really want right now. Let's go ahead and take a quick look. Let's look at some vehicles, and we've got some BattleTech recovery vehicles. We've got the hover truck, which carries 40 tons of stuff, which is pretty great. We're not big enough to need that yet. We do have the dump truck that is available. It can carry 20 tons of stuff. I think that we have enough right now. I don't think we need to get anything else. Now, a couple of things to also pay attention to. You know, the Maximum Heavy Hover Transport is always a fan favorite. If you ask my brother, this is God tier. The Behemoth Heavy Tank, the name is everything. It's a monster. It doesn't move very fast, but if you're doing like a town defense, you just park this on a road and just watch things disappear, because you don't have to worry about heat. You just dump all of your LRMs and your AC-10s down the road and see what happens. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of our folks, and we'll look at our mech warriors first. Nobody looks like they probably have enough to really increase their skills. Let's go ahead and look at our techs. So our techs, it does look like we have some folks who can do stuff. So let's spend some XP. And actually, we can go ahead and do some mass personnel training. So primary role, let's look at MekTech. Experience level, I don't care. Rank, don't care. Skill should be MekTech or TechMek. MekTech. Target level there. We have 13 eligible. Spend some XP. Everybody spends XP. Now let's go ahead and look at our mechanics. Same thing. So we have 6 who are eligible. Spend all the spending. And there we go. We're in a good spot. Let's look at our administrators. Administrators. Oh, yeah, we definitely have some people who can do stuff here. So do we want to increase our administration or our negotiation? So our negotiation is nice because it's used to negotiate things for contracts and things like that. But overall, administration, it can affect all sorts of stuff. And it affects how well our admins can do their job. It affects how many people they can keep track of. A lot of other things. So I think I'm going to go ahead and let's increase our administration. For this one, their negotiation is pretty good. Their administration is great. So let's increase their negotiation just a little bit. And then let's see who else we can do stuff on. Administration versus negotiation. Definitely administration on this one. Admin. Spend. Admin. More stuff. Admin. Skills support. We can go up in negotiation. I think that's just fine. Go up to 5.5. That's great. And last but not least, let's see if we can do anything else with you. Yeah, your negotiation can go up. I'm fine with that. Cool. So the one mech warrior who we do really want to probably look at just a little bit. Oh, we've got our new mech warrior. So if you're new, why would I give you a superior rank? You're not a superior rank. You can be a private. Congratulations. Actually, you're brand new. You're a recruit until you get through one mission. When you get through a mission, you get promoted to private. That's how this goes. All right, let's look at our captain. I think that we need to really increase his leadership so that he can do things during missions. All right, new skills. Support. Utility. Leadership, there it is. Okay, there you go. So we have terrible leadership and we have strategy. And then for the lieutenant, we're okay there. Okay. We'll go ahead and advance to the next month. So things happen. We charge, we jump, we charge, we jump. People are going, the same person is going crazy who's always been going crazy. And that's about it. That's it. We paid people. Unit market, anything interesting here? Okay, we have Chameleon and a Clint, a couple of Wasps, Hornet, Warhammer, Cicada, and a Warhammer. I'm not as familiar with the Chameleon. So it's a medium mech, 50 tonner. It's a 696. That's pretty nice. It's got 10 heat sinks, 83 internal structure, 93 armor. Interesting. It rolls with a large laser, 2 medium lasers, a pile of small lasers, and a couple of machine guns. This would do pretty well in a scouting lance. Even though it's a medium mech, it would do well in a scouting lance. I'm not going to get it, but I would not be sad if one appeared in my hangar one day. All right. How far out are we? So we've got 1 jump remaining. Let's go ahead and advance. I think to a new month. I think we're good to go with that. Waiting. All right, there we go. So doing more charging, more jumping. My same MekTech is still going crazy. This poor person. I wonder if there's something I can do to help them. And so we have a couple of people gain vocational experience. The unit market updated. We are not quite there yet. We are 1.43 days from the planet. So let's look at the unit market before we get to the planet. There's a longbow, stinger, locust, wasp, stinger, warhammer, wasp, banshee. There's a banshee, friends. It's a 95-ton assault mech, 4.6 movement, 16 heat sinks, got 240 armor, 145 internal structure, an AC5 PPC, and a small laser. This, it walks up and things shoot it. That's what its purpose is in life. It just walks up and other things shoot it. It's just a damage sponge. That's what it is. It's a damage sponge. And there's a wasp and a blackjack. I'm probably going to sell my blackjack because I just do not like them. All right, so 1. And I already know that we're going to want to unmothball the stalker. So let's go ahead and activate it. Oh, you can do it. And then the guillotine, we'll go ahead and unmothball you. Activate you, whatever you want to say. There we go. Advance. Oh, we should probably assign a tech, huh? Assign tech. Regular. You can do it. Advance. And there we go. We are on planet, in system. We are ready and are raring to go. So what are the requirements for this mission? Oh, much larger area of operations. This is good. This is good. Briefing room. So we need... There might be a problem here. Ah, I see. Okay. Maneuver. Patrol. Okay, cool. Able Lance, frontline. And then we will have Baker Lance be a maneuver. We'll keep Charlie Lance on patrol, and we'll kind of see what happens. All right. So my basement is a little chilly. I'm going to go grab a sweatshirt. I'll be right back. Also, I was making an apple cake, and my wife was keeping an eye on it. So I'm going to go see if that's ready to go, and I might be munching on an apple cake. Stand by for about 2 minutes, and I'll be right back. All right. We are back. Thanks for hanging out. I also just realized I forgot to, mute my microphone, but that's okay. We didn't say anything too crazy. Let's go ahead and do this. So we have started our contract. We are in a good-ish spot. Let's go ahead and just make sure that everybody is where they need to be. So while we were waiting on the stalker to get repaired, we had moved the rifleman up. And Charlie Lance is in a sad place right now. I probably should have looked to see if we could get a... Oh, hey, welcome, Messiah. Thank you for joining. So let's go ahead and get the rifleman back to where it should go. Let's get the Whitworth back down to Charlie Lance. Rifleman back down to here. I'm probably going to keep one of my 4-4 pilots up in Alpha Lance and then move somebody else into like the rifleman. And then we'll put the stalker into Able Lance. Yeah. Either the stalker or... I think the stalker. The one thing I'm thinking about is maybe we go ahead and move the Warhammer out and then we move the guillotine in. I think that we might do that. Oh, yeah. So Messiah says, huge fan of BattleTech. Just started to run the tabletop role-playing game as a series of one-shots. Always fun. I have only ever done, single games on the tabletop. First time I played BattleTech was probably 15 years ago or so, maybe 20 years. No, it was definitely 20 years ago. My brother taught me how to play, and multitasking is hard. My brother taught me how to play, and we did just a little like one-on-one, a couple of wasps essentially against each other, or a wasp and a stinger going against each other. And then we did a 4-on-4 game, and we also tried playing a bunch on like Roll20 before we even knew that MegaMek existed. And then after we found out that MegaMek existed, ooh, buddy, that changed everything. All right, let's go ahead and move Hyros out of the rifleman and into the stalker. I thought I had the guillotine set up and ready to go. Do I not? Guillotine. Yeah, it's ready to go. Oh, but it's a heavy. That's why. Okay. And then let's go ahead and move from the Warhammer. Let's go ahead and assign pilot, heavy, guillotine. And then let's move Claudia. What mech do we want to move Claudia into? Oh, yeah, MegaMek. It is such a huge... It's a game changer, honestly. It really is. And whether you want to play with friends at home or you want to play with friends over a long distance, as long as you have just a little tiny bit of computer know-how, then it's such a great tool to be able to utilize. And it's so fantastic that it's been around for the last 16 years. And then it's still going strong. What light mech do we want to play? Or what light mech do we want to bring with us? Or maybe even a medium? Why don't we go ahead and get the... Oh, I forgot I had the Highlander. Oh, no, I didn't forget I had the Highlander. I just need to sell it. Let's go ahead and bring the Firestarter in. We'll activate it, get one of our veterans to do it. Hopefully it's... Yep, it should be good to go. We'll go ahead and put our brand new pilot in. So I do not have a favorite faction. I'm going to be honest. I have read through the lore, and it's been a while. It's been a while since I've read through the lore. I really enjoy the Succession War period. When you get into the Clan period, it gets a little bit hard for me to follow along. The way I look at it is that each one of the factions, they're punks. They are all punks in their own special little ways. And there's no other way around it. because they're all just out for themselves. All of them have some redeeming factors. All of them have some things where they just completely screwed the pooch. The one thing I've enjoyed, so I did read, there was a series of BattleTech books. I'm trying to remember. It was about a mercenary company, and essentially the premise was that who was I going to put in the rifleman? That there was a mercenary company that, oh yeah, Viconitorians, absolutely. There was a mercenary company that was on a planet just essentially doing patrolling missions. And the primary character of the series, they are the son of the owner of this. Ruh-roh, I just hit the wrong thing. That's okay. We'll figure it out. His son was, a training pilot, but through a series of treachery and bad things, he's essentially, this kid is on his own. He's like a 16, 17-year-old kid, and he's trying to rebuild what his dad has done, essentially. Okay, we got the Singer Whitworth. Oh, that's why I can't do math. So you need to go to the rifleman. There we go. Okay, we're in a good spot now. So we've got Guillotine, Thunderbolt, Grasshopper, and a Stalker, and Able Lance, her primary assaulting lance. Yes, Grey Death Legion. Yes, thank you. That was the name of it. Oof, I was racking my brain trying to figure it out. Baker Lance is going to be our maneuver section that can kind of come up and help a little bit. It's still a little on the heavy side, not a medium lance, but that's okay. And then Charlie Lance will be our patrolling lance. The challenge here, the most dangerous thing, is the first drop for a patrol, because we won't be able to see very much, and it's possible we drop on something very bad. Very, very bad. If you don't remember the last time where I dropped and then suddenly I was surrounded, it was less than ideal. Let's go ahead and see what happens. So, Charlie Lance, go Power Ranger. Good deal. So we're just going to wander around a little bit, and we're going to wait and see if we get any missions of our own while we continue to patrol. Let's go ahead and advance. How long are our patrol periods? So 3-day patrol periods. And as a reminder, so our strategic objectives, we have to locate and capture or destroy 3 separate designated facilities. We need to engage and defeat hostile forces in a scenario somewhere in this sector. We need to maintain campaign victory points above 0 by playing turning point scenarios. So we'll go ahead and wait for them to come back. Charlie Lance comes back. We are well above our maximum of 3 support points, so we don't get any more. Let's go ahead and keep on exploring. Confirm, and let's go. Up, and so we have a breakthrough. We haven't discovered anything yet, but breakthrough is a turning point engagement. Your objective is to break through enemy lines and reach the far side of the engagement zone. At least 50% of your forces must reach the destination, and only fully operational units will count. If the enemy resistance proves too strong, you have an alternative path to victory. Destroy at least 50% of the enemy forces to force them into disarray and open the way. Be advised, the enemy will control the field of battle when this is over. Move fast, strike hard, and do not look back. Your employer has deployed you alongside an integrated force. A detail of enemy scout mechs has been spotted in the area. A detail of enemy scout mechs has been, 3 details of scout mechs have been spotted. So if we win, we get 2 victory points. If we lose, we lose 1 victory point, and this is going to be going to Baker Lance, it looks like. Cool beans. So, and then if we destroy the folks, then we get the 2 victory points. And we only have to deal with the Op4 and the Recon mechs. Everybody else, it doesn't matter. But let's take a look to see what we're going against. Our allies are bringing a Phoenix Hawk and a Shadowhawk. The enemy, they are bringing a Warhammer and 2 Shadowhawks, as well as a couple of Stingers, some more Stingers, a Commando and a Wasp. So while individually, these mechs, the Stingers and the Commando and Wasp individually, not phenomenal. When you put 6 of them together, it does not take a whole lot to cause a bad day. And this will happen on the 9th. Okay, so let's go ahead and advance the day. And we have yet another mission that's happening on the 12th. Oh, yeah. So, we've got the hostile industrial center that we're going to have to deal with as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at that one. A hidden enemy control facility has been identified for destruction. This installation is too valuable to remain in enemy hands, and its defenders must be eliminated to ensure it is no longer operational. Your mission is to destroy at least 75% of the defending forces. This is not an occupation. This is an eradication. The priority is destruction, not capture. Do not concern yourself with securing the facility. The enemy will fight to protect the installation, but their defenses will crumble under sustained pressure. Crush their forces, level their defenses, and ensure that when this battle is over, the facility is of no use to anyone. The victor will control the field of battle at the end of the engagement. If the facility remains salvageable after the assault, we will destroy it. The enemy will be left with nothing but ruins. Execute and with overwhelming force and leave no doubt who owns the battlefield. This facility will be destroyed if 75% of the turrets are destroyed. Your employer deploys alongside you. There's a whole pile of scout mechs. I think we need to destroy the data centers. All right, we'll take a look at that stuff here in just a minute. Do I have a favorite mech? Oof, good question. Yes, actually, my favorite mech is the Hunchback. I have a secret love for the Hunchback with the AC-20. I think it's the 4K, Hunchback 4K. It's like, it just walks up to things and it makes them have a bad day. But you got to be a little careful because it only carries like 5 rounds for its AC-20. So it walks up, it shoots something like 4 times, or shoots 4 different things, blows them away, and then it goes, oh no, what do I do now? That's pretty great. All right, let's go ahead and go forward a day. So, yeah, yes, I know that I need to do that. Let's go ahead and deploy. We'll deploy Baker Lance to this. Hope for the best. Yeah, we can go ahead and bring the Stinger with us. And I don't think I'm going to try to make it to the north side of the map, or whichever side we're supposed to get to. I'll probably just try to destroy everybody. That would be my guess for what I'm going to do. You know, so 20 by 50, we're starting on the south side. And so we're going to have to make it to the north side through all of the things. We'll decide. I always change my mind as we go through these things. So we'll go forward today. Now it is time for our game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first match of the evening. Swayback. I'm not as familiar with the Swayback. Let's take a quick gander here. Swayback. BattleTech. See, while I love BattleTech, I am not as familiar with the lore and a whole bunch of other things. But yes, I am. I'm right there with you. Oh yeah, the one that has like 7 or 9 medium lasers. I love that one too. That one brings me a lot of joy. All right, let's go ahead and I thought I hit start. Okay, it just says all of our objectives. Let's go ahead and commence a drop. And okay. And then we wait. And we wait. Now, I mentioned it the last time. I do feel like in this nightly that I'm running, it does load MegaMek slower from MekHQ than previous versions have had or have. I don't feel like it's horrendous, but it feels like it takes a lot longer. And everything should be good to go. They got all their things. Let's see what happens, friends. Okay, and with that, we lose initiative. So they get we drop first, they drop second. It's a nice long map for us to have to crawl across. We're starting on the south side. We need to make it to the north side, allegedly. Oh, not that far. Don't zoom out that far. You know, if we drop on the right side, there's a lot more obstructions in our way. If we drop on the left side, there are fewer obstructions, but also clearer lines of fire. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of bad options here. Go ahead and deploy there. The Stinger and the Shadow Hawk are probably going to be the ones that I drop. No, it's the Gladiator. The Gladiator and the Stinger are probably the ones I'm going to drop on the right side, just because they do have a little bit more mobility and they can jump over some of those things. But the Rifleman and the Shadow Hawk are probably going to get dropped on the left side with the ally Phoenix Hawk. I mean, overall, there's just not enough room for everybody here. We'll go ahead and drop our friends and do the things. So the our enemy reinforcements will be arriving on round 3. And so right now, all we have to do is deal with their initial forces, which, as we may need to recall, we've got a Warhammer, which is a pile of PPCs and medium lasers, a Shadowhawk, which is just a great all-rounder, and then another Shadowhawk, which is another great all-rounder. But there's nothing to it but to close the distance. PPCs work less good when you're punching them in the face. Although so do LRMs, which, you know, is unfortunate. Do not step. See, this can be a problem if you're not paying attention. We talked about this last time. Well, exclamation marks are very nice. They are helpful. They tell you when you're about to do something stupid, but they won't stop you from doing something stupid. So this mech is about to do something stupid and walk over a building that will collapse under it. Don't do that. No. Do that. Go there and do that. Much more gooder. And then, of course, the Rifleman can come do that. This is the late Succession War. So this is 2956, late Succession War, just before Lost Tech really happens. So I was starting this game. Pretty much, I started this campaign mostly just so I could, start streaming, kind of get some things going. As soon as they release 50.10, then I'm planning to start a new campaign and drop this one. This one is just kind of to get warmed up a little bit, you could say. But the next campaign, I do enjoy playing at the beginning of the clan wars period, especially. And I hate myself a little bit every time, but I really enjoy playing as Inner Sphere and then having to try to obtain clan gear because it's so painful and it hurts so much and you just get decimated every time. But I kind of like it. I like the pain. And so what I'm thinking about for the next campaign is, we can't hit that, that we are going to have a good set endpoint. So we're going to have a mercenary company. And we are going to actually go ahead and do all the rolling and everything like that you get out of the campaign ops book. So we're going to roll to see how much money we start with. We're going to actually purchase everything based on what's on the unit market. We'll do GM generation for what's on the unit market, so we have a good amount of things to choose from. But it's still going to be kind of up to the luck of the draw in a way. And then from there, we'll go ahead and do some essentially random generation for pilots and all that fun stuff. And then the goal of the campaign, I think I'm going to call it the Billion Brigade. The goal of the campaign, as soon as 50.10 comes out, we're going to start this campaign. The goal of the campaign will be to get to 1 billion C-bills. As soon as we get to 1 billion C-bills, our owner will retire and they will sell the company. So that's going to be the next campaign. Something to look forward to. We'll skip that. I don't think we're, nope. We'll skip that. Nobody can do anything. No physical attacks. No. Don't hurt the buildings. Nothing happened. Round 2, we lost initiative again. Again, just kind of trying to close the distance. We'll wait on the archer though, because I would like to see what their warhammer does before we move the archer if possible. The rifleman, we can definitely close the distance a little bit with him. I have a feeling that their warhammer is going to open up on the rifleman. The rifleman might have a bad day. I did not look to see what kind of a pilot was in that. A 3-4 pilot? Okay. Yeah, we might hurt a little after this, but it's okay. Good deal. Go ahead and put some buildings between us. Oh, I do like our allies being nice and doing some interdiction for us. Close the distance with the Stinger. And then Gladiator should also close the distance. But last but not least, the Archer. So the Archer really isn't going to have a shot no matter what I do because there are just too many woods in the way. You know, two heavy woods, you're not going to do anything. It'd be great if we could have some elevation, but right now they are Obi-Wan. They hold the high ground. No, we'll keep turned because we're probably going to bounce through those woods. So can't hit anything. We'll skip. Shadowhawk, I don't think he can hit. Oh, he can. Look at that. So we are long range for the AC-5. We should be medium range for the LRM-5. So it's a 12 and a 10 to hit. Fortunately, we're carrying enough ammo, so I think we can go ahead and just send it. So I'm okay with a 10 or a 12 and a 10. What I love about the Shadowhawk is that even when you dump everything, you still don't get hot. You can run, dump everything, and you're still heat neutral. About the only way you can gain heat, and I don't think you can even do it with the Shadowhawk, is if you jump 3, dump everything, and I think you gain 1 heat, which, fine, whatever. Who cares? All right, Rifleman, 13s on the PPC. That's not happening. All right, now is the moment of truth. Does the Stinger survive to see another day? 11 to hit, that's fine. The Gladiator. It's a 10 on the PPC. You know, there's an argument to be made that we should focus down the Shadowhawks before we even touch the Warhammer, because they're going to be the easier targets to hit. But 2 PPCs to the face also hurt a lot. And that's everything for him. All right, let's see what happens. So, fire for our Shadowhawk. Miss with the AC-5. Hit with the LRM-5. 1 missile hits against the Warhammer. 1 damage to the left arm. Their Warhammer misses with both their PPCs. He's going to be a Worm. Their Phoenix Hawk misses. Our friendly Phoenix Hawk missed. Their Shadowhawk misses with everything. Our Gladiator misses. Friendly Shadowhawk misses. Enemy Shadowhawk misses with everything. All right, The ally Phoenix Hawk is up to 4 heat. Their Warhammer is up to 4 heat. Just enough to keep them warm, and you know, they might want to take off their sweatshirts soon. And we win initiative. And they're, oh, interesting. They're behind us. So, with that being said, this is less than ideal. And I should have paid more attention to this. Oops. So, I think what we do is we distance ourselves from these friends that are not friend-shaped. And instead we close the distance with the lights that are in the south, because then we don't have to worry about getting hit from behind. Also, we're just going to take guns out of the fight that way. Yeah, should be fine. I think that the archer is still going to be a-okay by doing these things. Oh, good. Good. So we'll go ahead and close the distance, and we'll see if we can't just deal with this stinger in one fell swoop. Turn the gladiator around. That should give him a shot on the commando and the stinger. And then our stinger can definitely close the distance. And I'll let our allies be the sacrificial lambs who go charging headfirst into a Warhammer. Seems like a good idea. Ta-da! The downside is that we are going to need to kind of deal with these guys pretty quick. And with them being lights, they're going to be moving around quite a bit, which means that they can keep their to hit modifiers pretty high as long as they just keep moving, but probably not high enough. The thing I hate about the archers are their rear medium lasers. They are just pointless. Absolutely pointless most of the time. But 7s to hit on medium lasers, I'll take it against a wasp. Don't worry about the LRMs. For our Shadowhawk, I should have had my Shadowhawk back 1 hex, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and have him medium laser, AC5, skip the LRM. Oh, shoot. I hit the wrong button. That's unfortunate. I wanted to also do the SRM, but it's okay. And, you know, some people would say, oh, well, just like go back and change it, you know, GM mode. No, I don't want to. Mistakes happen. Mistakes happen, and that's part of life. That's part of war. That's part of the things. So when you make a mistake, you suck it up and you deal with it. I think it's fun. I think it's really fun to have to deal with those things. So let's go ahead, and we don't want to get too hot. I'm okay with a 12 to hit, and I'm okay with a 10 to hit. It's not great, but it is what it is. I don't think you're going to be able to hit them at all. Yeah, 15 to hit. Good luck. Godspeed. And then finally our gladiator. It's long range for the stinger, but it's going to be medium range for the commando. 10s versus an 11. I think we probably try to deal with that stinger. So let's go ahead and do PPC and call it a day. All right, so our archer, medium laser misses. Medium laser hits against the wasp against the left arm. Deals 5 damage, 2 internal structure remaining, critical hit, no effect. Their stinger misses. Our Shadowhawk misses with a medium laser and AC 5. The enemy commando hits our archer with a medium laser into the left arm, 17 armor remaining, misses with their SRM 6s. The ally Phoenix Hawk misses. Our the enemy Warhammer fires PPC and misses. Our Rifleman fires PPC at the Wasp, hits the center torso. The center torso of a Wasp is literally made of tissue paper. So 10 damage to the center torso, destroys all of the armor, 2 internal structure remaining, critical hit on the center torso, hit on the gyro. He is about to have a very bad day. Their Stinger misses. Their Wasp misses. Our Gladiator misses with a PPC. The enemy Shadowhawk hits with an AC 5 against the rear of the Archer, doing 5 damage, 5 armor remaining. And then the enemy Shadowhawk misses. Ally Shadowhawk misses. The Wasp needs to roll an 8, rolls an 8. So we'll go ahead and just try to punch the Wasp since it's already, hurting a little bit. Stinger misses. Shadowhawk misses. Wasp does hit against the left torso. 4 damage. It's down to 14 armor. Not a huge deal. It was the Shadowhawk got kicked. It makes a roll and succeeds. The Stinger stays standing after missing a kick. So our ally Shadowhawk is now up to 7 heat. The enemy commando is up to 2 heat. Everybody else is at 0. And we win initiative, which I am very okay with. We will have to wait and see what that Wasp does. But I think for right now, we can fairly safely close the distance with the Gladiator. And then our Stinger can probably do one of many, many things. But if we do this, then even if they try to get the back of the Stinger, then the Gladiator is standing right there. And this is what I was hoping would happen, is they're going to move a whole bunch of these guys so that we can figure out what's happening. I think our allies should be able to deal with this Stinger. I hope. If they can't, I'll be sad. I really would have liked for these two to have moved, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and have the Shadowhawk back up a little. Actually, why don't we do this? Now, always the tough part. You always leave the hard ones for last, and then you really regret it later on. Like, man, why did I leave them for last? But I think that we need to make some distance so that we can still have different lines of fire on things. So we'll just do that. Okay, that makes a little bit of sense. And that should, if I remember correctly, yes, that should be a fine place to be, allegedly. Big on the allegedly. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with the Archer. So we could do the medium lasers, or we could do LRMs. Medium lasers are probably going to get us a better result at this point in time, plus we won't get quite as hot. So we'll go ahead and just provide a little bit of bonus against that. What was it, Stinger? Yeah. Tends to hit, not ideal, but we'll see what happens. And then against the Commando, shooting into its side, we should have an okay shot to do some things. 9 with the medium laser, a 12 with an AC 5, which I'm okay with, and then a 9 for the SRM2. We'll go ahead and say done firing. None of those are in the leg, so we should still be able to kick him. Just a little kick. All right, so It's a 10 against the Stinger or a 7 against the Wasp. Why don't we jump down to the Gladiator and see what he can do? So Gladiator, it's 8s on the medium laser and a 6 on the PPC. I like those odds. So we'll go ahead and fire the PPC, and I'm okay with getting a little warm to drop an extra medium laser on him as well. You know, it's 1 more heat for the SRM. Just, you know, you live once. 2 heat, that's definitely very survivable. And then for the Stinger, I think that would be more beneficial. I'm pretty confident that we'll hit with something off of the Gladiator, but I think we're going to need some help on that Commando. So let's see if we can't hit with the medium laser. It's a 9 into the Commando versus a 10 against the Wasp anyways. I'm going to take the Commando. Do that. And that leaves us, last but not least, with the Rifleman. I don't think we need to put the PPCs into the Wasp. I think it's going to be a waste of some perfectly fine PPCs. That being said, it's 12s on the medium laser and a 10 on the PPC against the Stinger. But I think it'll be fine. Let's go ahead. PPC, medium laser, and another medium laser. No, we need to twist. Get twisty with it. Fire, fire, and fire uno mas. That puts us 1 over. Very, very reasonable, very doable. Let's see what happens. Our archer misses. Their Commando hits the right arm of the Shadowhawk with a medium laser down to 11 armor. Otherwise misses with all of the SRM4s. I really want the Commando gone because those SRMs are a little scary. And then the Shadowhawk, our Shadowhawk misses with everything. Their Stinger gets a machine gun into our ally Phoenix Hawk, dealing 2 damage to the right leg. The ally Phoenix Hawk misses with everything. The ally Warhammer fires PPC towards the back of the ally Phoenix Hawk and misses. Our Gladiator, oh, this is good, fires PPC, misses with a 5. SRM6 does hit, rolls an 11, 4 missiles hit, 2 damage to the left arm, destroying the left arm of the Wasp. Another 2 damage to the left arm, which transfers the left torso, and then another hit to the left torso. Finally, takes 2 damage to the center torso, destroys the center torso, destroying the mech. And the Wasp is gone. Goodbye. I'm happy we didn't put anything else into him. Our Stinger fires a medium laser against the Commando, hits the left leg, 5 damage into the left leg, 3 armor remaining. Enemy Wasp fires a medium laser at the Rifleman and misses with everything else. Enemy Stinger hits against the ally Phoenix Hawk with a medium laser and a machine gun. Medium laser hits the left arm, machine gun hits the left leg. Our Rifleman misses with all the things. And then the enemy Shadowhawk, number 1, misses. Enemy Shadowhawk number 2 misses. Ally Shadowhawk fires a That's a fun version of the Shadowhawk that carries a PPC. Fires PPC at the center torso of the Wasp, dealing 10 damage to the non-existent center torso. And that's it. So what is it to kick? 7 to kick, or 7 to hit. I'll take that risk. We'll skip that one. We'll skip that one. Let's see what happens. So enemy Stinger kicks the ally Phoenix Hawk, dealing a whole 4 damage to the right leg. The Shadowhawk misses. Shadowhawk stays standing, and then the Phoenix Hawk stays standing as well. So ally Phoenix Hawk is up down to 5 heat. Our Gladiator is at 2, Rifleman's at 1, and then the Commando on the enemy team is at 4. All right, and then we win initiative yet again. Yay! I really want the Commando to not be there. You know, the nice thing is that at least we have most of the enemy on like the enemy side of the line, and they're not on both sides of us. So we've managed to flip that. so we're not facing the back of something for the majority of this. Why don't we go ahead and roll the Gladiator around and see if we can't help our friend. They are probably going to move all of their north units to start off with, and that's fine. It's just annoying. And it's annoying because this archer is really a ranged mech. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't like him necessarily running, but it's fine. Okay. I am actually really cool with that. Now, I do foresee potentially one of those stingers coming in and jumping behind my Shadowhawk, but I'll deal with that later. Sounds like a later me problem. So, rifleman or stinger? We'll go ahead and jump. And the reason that we'll go ahead and jump is just to kind of increase that hit modifier a little bit. I don't think it's going to help us too much, but we'll see what happens. Oh, interesting. So one stinger jumped up on top of that building. What? So that is a height 1 building with a CF of 34 that a 20-ton mech is standing on top of. Can we do 14 damage? Maybe. Maybe. All right, so it's a 0. A +0 modifier to hit against the commando. It's a +2 modifier to hit against one of the Shadowhawks. 9 to hit there, 8 to hit against that Shadowhawk. That is awful tempting to go ahead and just dump on that Shadowhawk. If I can hit with one of those LRMs, that would be delightful. The rifleman, that is short range for the PPCs. So it's a 6 on the commando or 8s against the rifleman. That's also tempting. I mean, we got a little bit of heat. I think it's worth it to get extra warm to see if we can't really deal with a couple of these guys. Our Shadowhawk shouldn't have a hard time hitting him, though. And alas, I am correct. So 5 to hit, 8 to hit, and then... that just seems silly. But why not? It's just ammo. Man, I wish I could hit that building, but I can't. So an 11 to hit, 9 to hit, and 11 to hit. That's fine. Yeah, I think I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. So let's go ahead. We'll put the LRM 20s into the far Shadowhawk on 8s to hit. That'll put us 4 over on heat, but that's okay. It's all right. And then we'll go ahead and take the 8s to hit against the Shadowhawk, and we'll go ahead and dump both PPCs. That'll put us 6 over on heat, but we should be able to cool that off next turn without a problem. Sevens, yes, I will take that risk. And we'll just do the PPC, that way we can cool down this turn. I saw bad things happen. Bad things happen to them. All right, so our Shadowhawk, medium laser into their commando. Center torso is down to 6 armor. AC5 hits the right arm. LRM misses, which I'm not surprised by. SRM hits with 1 missile, 2 damage to the right arm. Our Stinger hits with a machine gun against the left leg of the commando. Medium laser misses. Other machine gun misses. Their commando hits with an SRM-6 against the archer. 4 missiles. 2 damage to the left torso. 2 damage would have gone to the center torso. We reroll with edge, so 2 damage to the left arm instead. 2 damage to the left torso, and then 2 damage to the right leg. SRM 4 misses. Ally Phoenix Hawk hits with a medium laser against the commando into the right torso. 4 armor remaining. He should be over 20 damage now, so he'll have to make a piloting roll. Enemy Warhammer fires PPC at the archer and misses. Our archer misses with both LRMs. Needs an 8, rolls a 7. Needs an 8, rolls a 7. I'm a little sad. Enemy Shadowhawk fires an AC5, misses. Medium laser into the archer, hits with a 12 into the left torso, misses everything else. Our rifleman misses with both PPCs. Oh, it's tragic. Enemy other Shadowhawk hits AC5 against the archer against the right into the right torso, and then 2 missiles from the SRM-2 hit as well. 2 damage to the right leg, 2 damage to the center torso. Our Gladiator fires PPC and hits the Stinger into the left arm. The left arm is destroyed, transfers to the left torso. It is down to 3 armor. And then finally, the enemy Stinger misses. Ally Shadowhawk fires PPC at the commando, hits the right arm, 1 internal structural remaining on the right arm. So our archer took over, really, it's the only one that took over 20 damage. That can't be right. Really? 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6, 7, 7, 9. If he took 19 damage, he took 19 damage. He took 19 damage, so he doesn't have to make a roll. That is kind of garbage, but it's fine. All right, so Archer, you're not going to do anything. Shadowhawk, please just kick the guy. 3 to hit. I think you can manage that. Okay, I see a prone. This is a good thing. Commando hits the Shadowhawk's right leg, deals 5 damage, down to 11 armor. Shadowhawk hits the Commando, 11 damage to the left leg, destroys the left leg, and transfers 3 damage to the left torso, 3 armor remaining. The Shadowhawk stays standing. Commando automatically fails because it lost the leg, and then their pilot takes 1 damage. Yay. All right, so Archer up to 4 heat, Ally Phoenix Hawk up to 7 heat, and then enemy commandos at 6 heat. Overall, not off to a terrible start. We lose-ish initiative on that one. That's fine. Yeah, that's all good. And so with us being, about a little over an hour and a half into the stream, for anybody watching, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, go ahead and take a second to hit that follow button if you don't mind. Come back, join me. We're going to be trying to do like 2 to 3 streams a week, as long as work and family life permit. Sometimes it might be 1, sometimes it might be 4, who knows. And you can also follow me on Blue Sky. The link is down below in the description. That's where I try to put up whenever I'm going to have a stream, or if you are coming from the MegaMek Discord channel, I'll be trying to put up there whenever I'm going to have a stream. Okay, so what to do? So the Commando tried to stand and failed horribly, which I am super cool with. Let's go ahead and close the distance again with our Gladiator. Do we? Do we close the distance? I think we do close the distance. Do we go there? And then that gives us some possibility to shoot the things. Let's do that. Less than ideal. This pilot will not be able to hit them hardly at all, but that's okay. So the rifleman is warm now, and we're not going to be able to just dump on everything. And if we can keep buildings between us and the Warhammer, we're essentially mitigating what the Warhammer can do to us. Probably the better option. So I think we're going to go ahead and do this. That will still... Okay, that should keep the Warhammer from being able to do things to us. If we go there, that keeps the Warhammer blacked out. We just have to make one piloting skill roll, which hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe we can roll 3. We did it, guys. We did it. I'm really tempted to leave the Shadowhawk here to just keep kicking the commando. I'm tempted. But I feel like their Shadowhawks are just going to jump in behind me if I do that. You know what? The rifleman can kick him. We'll do this. See if we can't go help our friends. All right, so the archer didn't fall. Good job, buddy. Good job. You deserve a cookie. So let's go ahead and just do medium lasers. I know it's a 10 to hit, but that'll let us cool down a tiny amount. Nah, we'll just do 1. That way we can cool all the way down, and then we can just dump with all of our LRMs. So Shadowhawk already at 3 heat. Let's just do medium laser, skip the AC5, do an SRM2, and call it a die. Stinger. Machine gun, medium laser, machine gun, everything's an 11 to hit. Yeah, no, that's not worth it. We can go ahead and give the commando some presents before we kick him. For heat, yes, we can absolutely do that. All right, so Ally Phoenix Hawk hits commando. Bad things are happening to the commando. We'll abbreviate it. Lost his right arm, transfers of the right torso rear. Enemy commando comes up onto one arm, dumps a medium laser into our archer into the right torso, down to 14 armor. Archer misses with the 1 medium laser. Enemy Stinger gets a machine gun into the Gladiator's right torso and another machine gun into the right torso. He's down to 15 armor. My Shadowhawk missed with everything. Enemy Stinger missed. Ally Shadowhawk missed. My Stinger missed. Our Rifleman. Bad things are happening to the commando. Crit on the right torso. Lost a couple of heat sinks. Crit on the left arm, crit on the left torso. Enemy Warhammer missed. Our Gladiator missed. Enemy Shadowhawk missed. Everybody's missing. Nobody can hit anything. If you put them inside of the barn, they would miss. What's the hit? 8. Yeah, we can risk it. What do you think? Do you think he misses on a 1? Oh no, I'm not risking that one. No. We'll skip that one. Can you punch? Punch him in the face? No, you can't. That's okay. Skip that one. We'll see what happens. Saw something bad happen. So our ally Phoenix Hawk destroyed the enemy right leg. No, it didn't destroy it, but damaged the right leg. Yes, destroyed the right leg. Shadowhawk missed on a 2. Enemy Stinger missed. Rifleman kicks the commando, explodes the SRM-6 ammo. All the bad things happen. Pilot does not stay conscious, but safely ejects. He is blacked out somewhere on the ground, having a bad day. Shadowhawk stays standing. Stinger stays standing. I kind of wanted the commando, but that's okay. We don't get to keep any spoils on this one anyways, so destroy all the things. We win initiative-ish. Win-ish. And so now we'll have to actually start keeping track of how many things we're destroying. You know, we need to destroy, what was it, 50%? Yeah, 50% of Op4 and Recon mechs. So out of the 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, we need to destroy 50%, so we need to destroy 5 of them. As long as we destroy 5, then we're in a good spot. And we can claim victory. Let's hold off. Oh, man. Let's just back up and let's see what happens. Maybe the Stinger decides to jump in behind us. I don't know. I don't like any of these options, man. I think all these options kind of suck. We'll go ahead and try to create a little bit of distance here, I guess. See if we can pull them in a little. Give me 1 sec, sorry. Okay. Now, with that being done, got 20-ton mech on a CF-33 building. This guy can do 5, 7, 9 damage. If somebody else can do like what, 5 more, then we're in a good spot. Can you turn? Not really, no. We'll just jump. We'll jump it. That's fine. Turn you like that and do that. And then we're in an okay spot. I think we'll risk it and do that. And then bring you up to that. This might be a really bad idea. So 7's for the LRM, 7's for the medium laser. Might as well do the LRMs, honestly. Yeah, might as well just do the LRMs. So we'll go 2 over on heat. I think that's totally fine. For the rifleman, it's an 8 to hit with the PPC. They're 9 to hit against the Stinger. Or it's an 8 against that Shadowhawk. I think, why don't we go ahead and spread a little? The better thing to do is just to take the guy out. So PPC to you. And yeah, it's not worth it taking the secondary target. So we can be over by 6 heat, which I think is, again, reasonable if we actually get the Shadowhawk. So this Stinger, it's a 6 for him to hit the building. That's pretty terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But we're going to try it. 4 and a 6. Okay. There's not a whole lot else for him to shoot at. So you might as well. And if you're wondering why am I shooting the building? The reason why I'm shooting the building is because I want my friend the Stinger to go tumbling down. We'll do AC5, whatever, SRM2, whatever, it's fine. That should give us enough to be able to really make him have second thoughts about life. And then we'll go ahead and pour some stuff into the actual Stinger and hope that we hit with something. Look, we saw a little prone pop up. Isn't that nice? All right, so enemy Stinger misses with all the things. Our Archer hits with one of the LRM-20's 9 missiles hit, 5 damage to the center torso, 4 damage to the left arm. Our Rifleman hits with one of the PPCs into the right torso. That is 10 damage to the right torso, down to 8 armor. Enemy Stinger hits with a medium laser into the Rifleman's center torso, down to 17 armor. Enemy Stinger hits against our friend's Shadowhawk into the left torso and the right arm with a couple of machine guns. Stinger actually manages to hit the building with a couple of things. Then the enemy Shadowhawk AC5 hits against the center torso of the Archer, 26 armor remaining. LRM5 also hits with all 5 missiles, 5 damage to the left torso. Shadowhawk causes bad things to happen to the building. Enemy Shadowhawk misses with all the things. Our Gladiator, SRM6, 4 of the 6 missiles strike, 2 damage to the right arm, 2 damage to the right leg, 2 damage to the right arm, 2 damage to the left arm, and 2 damage to the left torso. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, transfer to the left torso. Got it. That makes sense. And then the other enemy Stinger, medium laser and machine gun, hit both against the right arm of my Shadowhawk. We are down to 4 armor in that right arm. And then the friendly Shadowhawk misses with the PPC. Building collapses. Stinger takes 2 damage from debris, falls 1 level, falls on his left side, suffering 4 damage, takes 4 damage to the left arm, transfers to the left torso, 2 internal structure remaining on the left torso, and the pilot avoids taking damage. Oops, sorry about that. So the Stinger kicks the ally Shadowhawk in the left leg. The Shadowhawk kicks the Enemy Shadowhawk in the right leg, 5 armor remaining there. Enemy Stinger kicks the Rifleman in the right leg, and then ally Shadowhawk misses. Rifleman stays standing. Shadowhawk stays standing. Heat happens. My Rifleman is a little warm, but that's okay. He'll cool down. He'll chill. And we definitively win initiative. Very interesting. Very, very interesting choice. Okay. Okay. Honestly, I think it would be better to jump here. So why don't we jump and go over and try to help some of our heavier mechs that are, struggling with some of those lighter mechs. Boop. Yeah, for sure. Rifleman. If all you do is turn and go there. Then that burns everything. It does open the back up to the Shadowhawk, but I'm willing to risk it on this time. Oh, their Stinger got up. Slow down, little buddy. Slow down there. Let's just do that. That's a lot easier. Less okay. Let's do that. Cool. Their Stinger stood up. Lots and lots of potentially bad things could happen, but I think we're going to be fine. So our Stinger can shoot at their Stinger. It's 8s to hit around. Hopefully something hits. That would be neat. So it's 8s to hit against this Stinger, and then it would be 6s to hit against this Stinger. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do the 6s, because they just don't have much armor to begin with. And it's not hard to just take the head off of one on accident. So 9s for the medium laser. It'd be 9 for the medium laser. It'd be a 7 for the AC5, 10 for the LRM, and a 9 for the SRM, which I think is very reasonable. It's not like we have to worry about getting warm. It's just ammo. Okay, I don't even want to fire at the PPCs. It's 11s to hit. Or 10s against that Stinger. Woof. Just woof. I think it's more valuable to take this Stinger out and then see if we can't kick this guy maybe. Let's see how bad that modifier is, but jeez. Okay. 1 over, that's fine. That's sufficiently cool. And then you're not going to be able to hit anything, are you? PPCs, 11s. It's almost better to shoot at the Warhammer, man. Sure, why not? Let's shoot the Warhammer. All right, enemy Stinger misses. Our Stinger hits with one machine gun into the right leg. It's down to one armor. Enemy Stinger hits with a medium laser into the center torso of the Archer. Also hits with both the machine guns into the left arm and the center torso. Our Archer hits with both the medium lasers, center torso and left arm are both struck. Down to 2 internal structure on the left arm. Enemy Warhammer hits with both PPCs into the Shadowhawk. Ouch. Doing 10 damage to the right leg and 10 damage to the left torso. We're down to 1 armor on the right leg and 4 armor on the left torso. Ally Shadow or Ally Phoenix Hawk hits with a large laser into the Stinger, hitting the left torso. Misses their medium lasers. Enemy Stinger firing at the Archer hits center torso with a medium laser and a machine gun. Down to 12 armor on the center torso. Our Shadowhawk fires a medium laser into the enemy Shadowhawk, hitting the left torso with the medium laser and then missing with everything else. Enemy Stinger hits with medium laser and a machine gun into the left arm of the Shadowhawk. Our Rifleman hits with a medium laser into the left torso, destroying the left torso, transferring into the center torso, hitting, also critting on the gyro. Somebody's about to get a little wobbly. And then enemy Shadowhawk. Ooh, I don't like where this is going. AC5 into the right arm. We are down to internal structure only on the right arm. Crits with no effect. Would have hit the head with a medium laser. Instead hits the left arm. And then misses everything else. Our Gladiator missed the PPC. Enemy Shadowhawk misses the Archer. And then Ally Shadowhawk misses with the PPC. Our Shadowhawk stays standing. Enemy Stinger falls with the gyro hit. Hits on the gyro, hits on the gyro. That's 3 hits on the gyro. It's pretty well toast at this point. And then the pilot took damage to boot. Okay, so that Stinger has no gyro. It's essentially it's stuck. How bad is it to kick you? 7, I'll risk it. And then for the Rifleman, 8, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. 4, oh yeah, easy. Easy peasy. 7, we'll risk it. I saw something very frustrating. So, enemy Stinger misses. Our Archer misses. Rifleman misses. Enemy Stinger misses. Shadowhawk hits. Goes into the right leg. Right leg destroyed. Transfers in the right torso down to 1 internal structure. My Stinger misses. The enemy Shadowhawk punches things and misses. So the Archer stays standing after missing. Rifleman stays standing. Stinger falls. 2 damage to the center torso, but we avoid damage to the pilot. Enemy Stinger missed a kick, falls, takes 2 damage to the left torso. And then the other Stinger automatically falls because it doesn't have a leg, takes 2 damage to the right torso, and the pilot takes some damage. Moving on into the heat phase, Rifleman is down to 1 heat, Gladiator is at 2 heat, Ally Phoenix Hawk is just cooking at 8 heat. How do you like your eggs? Well, fried apparently. And then the enemy Warhammer is chilling at 3 heat. We win-ish initiative. Actually, we won pretty well. Yeah. So the enemy team is down to really 6 mechs effectively. They are 3 mechs down. We need to destroy 2 additional mechs in order to be able to claim victory. Let's see if we can't do that. It's a 7 to get up. They failed. They took more damage to the left torso. Let's try this again. So maybe we do this one. Give it a whirl. Maybe. Yes, we did it, guys. We did it. We stood up. We have achieved our 9-month milestones. So exciting. All right, so he just stood up and got out of dodge. This guy is stuck. Our Shadowhawk needs to find some place to not be shot by a Warhammer. And that place to be not shot by a Warhammer is not there. So instead, what I would love to see you do is to do something like this. And then we can risk it and we can turn, and hopefully nothing horrible happens. So now we got double Shadowhawk action. I think we bring... Oh, that's what's going. We bring the double, or we bring the Gladiator back in and hope that we can do some hurt on this Shadowhawk right here. So they went ahead and ejected from that Stinger, which is probably what we're seeing right there. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I think the move for us to make, because nothing here really has range on it, the move for us to make, if we go there, their Warhammer cannot hit us, which is pretty great. But we should be able to hit their Shadowhawk without too much of a problem. All right, bad things happen to a lot of people. Stinger destroyed by ejection. Pilot ejects safely. Moving on to weapons phase. Okay. All right, hold on for 2 seconds, guys. We will resolve this. Wait. Alrighty, sorry about the delay there. Just had to go answer a quick question. Thanks for hanging out for 2 seconds. And with that being said, we have the Archer who can do things. So it's a +3 modifier against that Stinger, or it's a +1 against him. So it's a 7 to hit this Stinger right here versus a 7 to hit that one. So it's pretty much the same. Now, one thing to pay attention to, CF50 building, 20-ton mech. Do you see where I'm going with this? I think we still have to shoot at the mech, though, because we have to do a lot of damage against the building in order to make it fall, and it's just not worth it, honestly, at that point. This mech has not taken any damage at all so far. This one has barely taken any damage. So again, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. I think that we're just going to go for this one, fire a couple LRMs, and see what happens. What is left on this guy? So he still has a machine gun and a medium laser. So I am a little worried about this Shadowhawk being able to just kick my Shadowhawk in the back of the head, and that could end very poorly for us. You know, kicks in the head typically do not end well for the pilots in said head. So 8s versus a 10. So 8, 11, forget about it, and 8 for our Gladiator. Again, 8, 8, and an 8. Call it a die. Stinger, 11, 9, and 11. And then our rifleman, it's 9s to hit. 6 over. We can do that. We can do it. I believe. All right, so Warhammer misses again with both of its PPCs. Ally Phoenix Hawk hits with a medium laser against the Stinger, critting a jump jet and a heat sink. The left torso is just barely holding on with that Stinger. Our Archer hits with 16 of the 20 LRMs against a Stinger, damaging the left leg. 5 damage to the right torso, 5 damage to the right leg, and then 1 damage to the right torso. The other LRM 20 hits with all 20 missiles. Yes. Love it when this happens. 5 damage to the left arm, 5 damage to the right leg, destroying the right leg, and then also 1 damage to the right torso, critting the right torso with no effect, 5 damage to the center torso, 5 damage to the right torso, blowing off the right arm because it has nothing to attach to, also transfers to the center torso. Crits on 2 of the jump jets, and then 0 armor remaining on the center torso. I'm excited to see what happens with this. Stinger misses. Our Shadowhawk misses with all the things. Enemy Shadowhawk hits our Shadowhawk in the right arm with a SRM2. We are down to 6 internal structure. Enemy Shadowhawk fires, Ally Shadowhawk fires PPC and LRM at the Shadowhawk and misses. Then enemy Shadowhawk hits our Shadowhawk with an AC5. We're down to 1 internal structure on that right arm. Center torso is hit, 18 armor remaining. 1 SRM goes into the left leg. And then the Gladiator hits with a medium laser into the left torso. SRM6 hits with 5 of the 6 missiles. 4 damage total into the center torso, 2 damage to the left arm, 2 damage to the right torso, and 2 damage to the left torso. Our Stinger misses with all the things. Enemy Stinger misses. Rifleman misses. So Stinger automatically falls because it doesn't have legs. Falls onto the left torso. And then the pilot also takes 1 damage because they failed their piloting skill check. With that, let's kick. Not a whole lot to do with you. We can skip that attack. All right, so this is what I was worried about. This is exactly what I was worried about. Exactly what I was worried about. This is no good. Let's do one little thing. Oh no. No. I'm gonna try to do better about taking some screenshots. Thumbnails and all that jazz. No good. No good there. So, enemy Shadowhawk kicks my Shadowhawk in the back of the head, dealing 11 damage. All armor is destroyed. We are down to 1 internal structure on the head. There's not a whole lot left there. I'm getting deja vu here. And then, and our ally Phoenix Hawk kicks a Stinger, destroying a left leg. Our Shadowhawk kicks a Stinger into the left leg, destroys the left leg, transfers to the left torso, which then transfers to the center torso. There is 2 armor remaining in the center torso. Our Shadowhawk stays standing. The Stinger doesn't have a leg, so it falls. And the pilot takes 2 damage. Or takes a damage. Ally Phoenix Hawk is up to 10 heat. Our rifleman is at 6 heat, and things have happened. I am supremely concerned for my Shadowhawk. And we won initiative. All right, so they ejected out of that Stinger. Let's do one of those things. Hope for the best. with having jumped and also being in heavy woods, not having something right behind me to stand on top of, I hope our head will be safe. I hope. Now, of note, this mech tried to stand or move or do something and failed horribly to do so. I am not moving forward to there, though, because it's a bad idea to walk in front of a couple of PPCs, in my opinion. Now let's take a quick look here at something. So we've got 1, 2, 3. How many mechs have we destroyed? We've destroyed quite a few. I think there are 4 mechs lost. We need to destroy 1 additional mech, so it's actually worth it. It hurts me, but it's worth it to jump ahead to this. Oh no, don't do that. No, no. Do not do the stupid thing. All right, and that is the destruction of the last mech that we needed. We have now destroyed 4 mechs across all of the teams. I'm sorry, we've destroyed 5 mechs across all of the teams. We have met our objectives. We met our objectives, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to destroy 1 more just to keep things nice and safe. Nothing could possibly go wrong. So their Shadowhawk is... Oh no, I was looking at the wrong Shadowhawk. No. That's okay. It'll be fine. Just gonna get the Stinger out of the way, honestly. It's probably the safe move. Let's do that. Okay, so their Stinger fails horribly and continues falling. Another Stinger fails horribly, or sorry, ejects and fails, and bad things happen. They are destroyed by ejection. Also destroyed by pilot death. So there's that. Next up. We could do a single LRM, and that would be fine. Who knows? Maybe not terrible things will happen for once. I mean, it's going to be the end, so 7 over is fine. You just chill, man. You chill there. Don't do anything. Don't look at anything. Don't breathe too hard. You're going to have to skip. Medium laser. Sure. 8 to hit. Why not? And then, yeah. 8s on SRM and the medium laser into the back of a Shadowhawk. So their Stinger misses. The ally Phoenix Hawk misses. Our Archer hits with 16 of 40 missiles. 5 damage to the right torso, 5 damage to the right arm, 5 damage to the right arm, so a total of 10 damage, and then 1 damage to the left arm. The enemy Warhammer misses with their PPC, misses with all the things. The ally Shadowhawk hits the enemy Stinger with a PPC into the right leg, destroying the right leg, and transfers to the right torso. Misses with an LRM. The enemy Shadowhawk, AC5 into the Stinger, critting against the right arm, essentially just demolishing that right arm is useless. Moving forward, we'll have to replace the darn thing. Medium laser into the left arm. SRM2 hits with 2 of the 2 missiles, dealing a total of 4 damage into the left leg. There's not much armor left on this entire mech. And then the LRM5, 3 missiles hit, dealing 3 damage to the center torso. For real, there's almost 0 armor left on this thing. It's all internal structure. And then the Shadowhawk on the enemy team, AC5 in the left leg of the Phoenix Hawk, medium laser into the left arm of the, what's this? Oh, okay. Left arm of the Phoenix Hawk is down to 0 armor, and then LRM-5, 4 missiles hit into the right torso, dealing 4 damage. Enemy, or my Stinger, it actually hit with something. It hit. I love it. Into the left leg of the Shadowhawk. Gladiator. Oh, nice. Medium laser, both medium lasers hit, one into the right leg, one into the right arm. And with that being done, we'll go ahead and hit the victory button. So the wonderful phrase /victory. And then kick. Don't kick our friends. Kicking friends is bad. Kicks don't make friends. So our archer kicks the right arm, destroying the right arm, transfers to the right torso. It is down to 3 internal structure. And with that being done, we have achieved the objectives, and we are done. We'll go ahead, and you gotta love a good old GIF. Or a GIF, or whatever you want to call it. Let's do this. And then, no, I don't think we need to do that. And we are, so at the end of the day, we walked out the door maintaining 7,000 of our BV. Of our actual BV, we lost about 500 or 700 of it. Well, we have all 5 units remaining. 2 of them are heavily damaged. 1 of them was slightly damaged. The enemy team is walking out with 4 of its 9 mechs, and really 1 of those mechs is completely crippled as well. So truly, they are walking out with 3 mechs. Now, they're the 3 most deadly mechs that they brought with them. And the only mechs they lost is they lost 100% of their recon personnel. No, we do not control the battle at the end, or the field at the end. Womp, womp. Next. Next. I need to do better about keeping track of these things. Okay, so I'm going to kind of make it up on this one. I know at least one of these was the Shadowhawk. The Archer also just demolished one of them. Then at least one of those was our ally, though. Pretty sure the Gladiator dealt with one as well. Well, yeah, the Gladiator is right there. Archer, Rifleman, Shadowhawk. That actually might be right. No, it was double Shadowhawks. That's what it was. Okay, cool. Next. So, no, we didn't do that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that's annoying. They were only counting the first of the recon forces. I don't think that was very clearly delineated. And so I would argue that we dealt with over 50% of all enemy forces. We get that objective. I'm fine with them saying like, okay, we didn't meet the north side. Okay, fine, whatever. But we destroyed 50%. So it's fine. We lose 1, we gain 2, we net positive 1. I think that's fine, in my opinion. So Newton, hurt, gets some stuff, and then Claudia, she popped her battle cherry and she gets an edge. Go her. All right, and with that, I know we only did 1 battle today. However, we have been playing for about 2.5 hours, and I still have to go to work tomorrow morning. So with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here for the night. If you were joining me on Twitch, thank you so much for joining. If you have enjoyed this content, please, I really ask that you do go ahead and follow the stream. It would mean a lot. And then if you are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Go ahead and leave a comment if you have a comment to leave. If you've enjoyed the video, go ahead and like the video if you could. It really helps to get some more views. And then if you're enjoying the content so far, go ahead and follow the channel. I hope that everybody has a great rest of the night. We will be streaming again later on this week, probably Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure which one yet. Keep an eye on the Blue Sky account, and I will let you know as soon as I know. I hope that you all are safe and doing well, and until next time, take it easy.